Oh, good girl, Luna. She's just lied down. Forgot to dismiss my message there. All right. I hope everyone is doing well today. I thought we'd focus on twisting. So we'll start seated. Nice tall seat, sit bones firmly rooting down into the chair. Feeling that the feet are firmly on the floor. Getting a sense of a nice tall and spacious spine. As you settle in, finding your breath. Maybe this morning we could start with hand on belly and heart or chest. Just taking a few breaths, noticing how your body feels as it breathes, how your body moves as it breathes. Noticing any movement of your body under your fingertips and palms. You could close your eyes if that feels good, but eyes can also stay open. Noticing if one area is more active than the other. A lot of us tend to breathe more shallowly, so it's more the chest that moves. And as we stay here breathing, can you start to direct your breath lower? Can you allow your belly to soften and allow it to move with the breath a little bit? Your breath might slow down. Taking some time here, just noticing, feeling your body breathe. Having the hands over belly and heart just gives you a little more feedback, a little tactile feedback. Spend a few more breaths here, just noticing, feeling your body breathe, eyes open or closed. And then when you're ready, releasing the hands down to your lap. Palms can be up or down. Reconnecting with the idea of your feet being firmly on the floor. Maybe just sensing into the soles of your feet. Noticing the backs of the thighs and that they're resting down. Noticing the bony parts of your bum on the chair, letting the weight be evenly distributed. And then maybe finding a sense of lifting the spine or lengthening or growing the spine upwards. Crown of the head might reach up a little more. Letting this not be too rigid, but a feeling of spaciousness. And would it feel okay to soften the shoulders down any amount? That's a new interruption. Sorry for the doorbell. Breathing here in the tall spine. And then let's start gently to move into the neck. Following your own breath. When your next exhale arrives, tipping the chin down towards the chest. And with an inhale, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. Exhaling to bring the chin back down towards the chest, moving with your own breath pattern. moving as slowly as your breath moves. And eventually coming back to center when you feel you've done both sides, about evenly, both directions evenly. Pausing with your neck forward, facing forward, and noticing how the neck feels, any sensations that are coming up. And then we'll slowly move the head from side to side. Again, starting with the head facing forward. And as you exhale, let's turn the head to one side, keeping the chin about parallel with the floor. Inhaling back to center as you're ready. And exhaling to the other side. Again, we'll move following your own breath, your own pattern of movement. The inhale coming forward, with the exhale turning to one side. Moving so slowly, giving yourself the time and space to notice any catches or areas of stickiness. Letting this be your last round. And when you feel you've done both sides evenly, making your way back to center. No rush to get there. Again, giving yourself the pause, noticing sensations. From here, let's tip the head on a diagonal. Again, starting with the inhale, nicely facing forward. As you exhale, tipping left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling back to center as you're ready. And exhaling to tip right ear to right shoulder. So head is still facing forward and we're tipping the head on a diagonal. Moving with the breath, inhaling to center. Exhaling to one side. Letting it be gentle as well. Inhaling to center when you're ready. Moving with your breath. And when you feel even, both sides complete, coming back to center. Noticing sensations in the neck, maybe in the base of the skull, maybe in the shoulders, noticing what you notice. And then let's come down into the shoulders and arms. Let's start with our shoulder rolls, sweeping the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Hands can stay resting on your thighs or gently move. Hands could come up in the air if that feels better. Giving yourself options, allowing a little playful movement. And let's switch directions when you're ready, moving the shoulders in the other direction, other circle. And slowly releasing the shoulders, allowing the hands to rest back down in your laps. Might feel good to take any wiggling, a little shimmy, releasing anything that kind of came up, noticing what came up. Let's move into the shoulders a little more. Let's start by bringing the right hand down beside our sides, allowing it to hang down, letting it be a bit loose, a bit heavy. And we'll start swinging it back and forward. Not really moving with breath this time, but just allowing some natural movement in the shoulder. A little bit of effort since we're moving this, we're swinging the arm, but not letting it be too rigid. And releasing right arm back down to your lap. Pause for a moment, Notice any difference in sensation from one shoulder to the other. And then let's move over to the left side. So left hand hanging down by your side. And again, we'll swing the arm forward and back. Shifting a little if you need a little more space. Apparently I was over to the right a little more than I thought I was. Noticing the range as you swing. How far forward and back does your arm want to go without any forcing? Letting it be loose. And releasing the left hand back to your lap. Noticing how that shoulder feels. Let's stretch the arms out in front of us with the palms facing forward. So fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. With an inhale, let's draw the arms wide. Then exhaling, bringing the hands forward again. Breathing here for a moment. Let's bring the fingertips down towards the floor. Same thing. With your next inhale, let's draw the arms wide. Exhaling back to center. Flipping the palms back up towards the ceiling, finding your breath here. When your next inhale arrives again, sweeping the arms wide. Exhaling back to center. Flipping the palms down. Inhale, sweep arms wide. Exhaling back to center. Fingertips to the ceiling, open wide, inhale. Exhaling back. Last time, fingertips to the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing the hands, noticing how the arms feel now. Is there a little more work, a little more warmth, perhaps? Let's move into the fingers a little bit. If it feels okay to interlace the fingers, reaching the palms away from you. If interlacing the fingers doesn't feel good, one variation would be one hand on top of the other and reaching away. Or we can repeat where we're just facing the palms away, the fingers not necessarily interlaced. They can be pointing towards each other or not. So finding your variation, what works in your body this morning. Reaching the palms forward. With an inhale, reaching up above your head this time. Pausing here, continuing to breathe. Imagining you could stretch into the wrists, the heels of the hands, reaching up towards the ceiling. If the fingers are interlaced, maybe stretching the fingers apart a little bit. If the fingers are separated, just reaching up through the heels of your hands. One more breath. A surprising amount of work to hold our hands above our heads. And releasing the hands back down. Coming back to your lap, releasing the interlace of the fingers. And let's move down into the spine a little bit. Let's start with a side bend today. So bringing left hand to your waist. Let's reach the right arm up and overhead. With your next exhale, let's tip over to the left. Inhaling back to center, we'll keep the right arm lifted. Exhaling to sway over to the left again. Moving with your breath, inhaling up. Exhaling to sway, like something in the breeze, grass or a tree. Keeping your right sit bone really heavy as you tip over. And let's release the right arm back down. Releasing left arm back to your lap. Pausing for a moment, noticing any difference in sensation from one side of your body to the other. Does one feel longer? Just noticing. As you're ready, bringing the right hand to your hip. With an inhale, we'll sweep left arm up and overhead. As you exhale, we'll tip over, sway over to the right. Inhaling to center. Exhaling to sway over to the right. Moving with your breath like you're moving in the water or in the wind. Imagining that your left sit bone is so heavy, keeping it glued to the chair. As though the rest of your body were reaching away from that anchor point. One more breath cycle. From here, let's exhale the hand back down to the lap, releasing right hand, both hands on the lap. Noticing sensations in the shoulders, in the side body, in the arms, anywhere that you're feeling anything. Just giving yourself the chance to notice. Let's move into our cat-cow. We'll keep it sort of standard this morning. We'll keep hands on knees or thighs. Starting off with a nice tall inhale, feet firmly planted. As you exhale, let's round the spine like a Halloween cat, pulling the belly towards the back of the chair. On an inhale, drawing the belly and chest forward, maybe pulling the shoulder blades towards each other. Gaze might lift. And then exhaling again, Halloween cat shape, belly towards the spine, shoulder blades might spread apart. Moving with your breath, we'll do a few cycles of these. Exhaling to round into the cat. Inhaling to draw the chest and belly forward, coming into cow. Using the leverage of your thighs or knees with your hands to help make the shape, guiding your body. And settling back into a tall and neutral spine as you're ready, as you've had enough. Pausing to notice sensations again. And then we'll start moving into our twists. We'll do some warm-up twists as we normally do, and then we'll do some more twisting later in our practice. So let's start off with probably the simplest twist, with feet firmly planted on the floor. Thinking about keeping the feet, knees, and hips all really stable, as if they were frozen in place. When we twist, we have a tendency to want to move the knees, and you probably see it when I twist as well. There's some shifting. We're trying to keep the knees really firmly planted exactly where they are. Hips and feet cemented. Inhaling nice and tall. Let's start with an exhale, bringing left hand to right knee. And right hand might sweep back towards our back hip, turning the shoulders towards the right. Breathing here in the twist. We're not cranking ourselves into a deeper twist, but the hands are there to support you. Keeping hips, knees, and feet so strong, so stable. With every inhale, thinking about lengthening the spine, and with every exhale, allowing the body to settle into the twist. Let's stay here for one more breath if it feels okay to stay. And then we'll slowly unwind, coming back to center. Pausing for a breath. Maybe allowing the knees to shift a little bit before we find that stability again. And then let's set up. Tall spine, feet firmly planted, knees and hips firmly cemented, but cemented is a little extreme. But with that idea that everything is really strongly in place. Bringing the right hand to the left knee or thigh. Inhaling nice and tall. As you exhale, turning the shoulders towards the left. The left hand might sweep back beside your hip, towards the back of the chair. Keeping the legs firm, hips firm. With every inhale, thinking about lengthening the spine upward. With every exhale, allowing your body to settle into the twist. Stay for another breath if it feels okay to be here. And then slowly unwinding, coming back to center. Maybe releasing the legs a little bit. And let's move down into the hips. Shifting forward on your seat so that you've got a little more space to move the legs. Sit bones should still be nice and firm so that you feel well supported. Let's start with the right leg. So your option, either to bring the knee up towards your chest without the use of your hands, or we can reach down and grasp under the thigh. So we can start the idea, because maybe when you start to lift your knee towards the chest on its own power, it might not come very far, and then we help it along. But starting that idea of building that strength. Once you've got your right thigh in hand, or right shin or knee, let's start just by moving the knee out to the side and back into center. The idea that we did with the arm, swinging it back and forth, letting it be a bit passive, letting the arm do the work here. And then bringing the knee back to center, pausing in center. So see if you can change the control, letting the knee or the leg guide the movement. Letting the hand be there for support, but letting the leg do most of the work. Moving out to the side and back, just 2 or 3 times. And let's release right foot back down to the floor. Noticing any difference from one thigh to the other, one leg to the other. And then we'll move over to the left side. Again, option to bring the left knee up towards your chest or as close as possible without the use of your hands, or we can reach down and grab it. But maybe playing with somewhere between. Maybe starting to lift the knee up towards you and then helping it the rest of the way. Either holding under the thigh, around the shin or knee, wherever it's comfortable. And again, we'll let most of the work be in the arm to begin, and we'll open the left knee out to the left and bringing it back to center. Letting the arm do the work, letting the leg be a bit passive. A few times. And pausing in center, and let's switch who's doing the work. Letting the leg take over, letting the leg direct the movement. So using the leg to sweep the knee out to the left, letting the arm be there for support, but doing less work now. 2 or 3 times. Noticing how different it feels, if it feels different. And then allowing the left foot to come back to the floor. Pausing for a moment. Noticing any sensations in both, maybe could be just legs, but maybe you're feeling sensations on the arms from that work as well. Moving back to the right thigh, let's pick up the thigh and we'll find our hip circles. Moving the leg in the hip socket, big or small, few in one direction, and we'll switch directions. And then allow the right foot to come back to the mat. Giving yourself the in-between, the pause. And let's reach down and bring left knee up towards us. Finding hip circles on this side. Switching directions as you're ready. And then allowing left foot to come back to the floor. Back to the right leg, just enough, lifting the leg just enough that the foot can come off the floor, and let's find some ankle circles. Making our way through the whole body. Pointing and flexing the foot a few times. And then allowing right foot to come down to the mat. Pausing, noticing sensation differences from right to left. And then picking up left leg just enough that the foot can come off the floor. Ankle circles, left side. Thinking about keeping the chest nice and broad without losing your posture in the torso, switching the direction of your circles. And then pointing and flexing the foot a few times. Releasing left foot to the floor. Beautiful. Let's move through our sun salutations. So finding your perfect starting point, whether that means feet are about hip width distance or maybe a little wider, deciding for when we come into a forward fold, how much space would be nice to have, whether you like the compression between belly and thighs, or if you prefer to have a little more space to allow some room for the torso to come through. Finding your variation, what feels good in your body. We've always got hand variations as well if you've got anything coming up in your shoulders. Usually I say sweep arms up and overhead, but if that doesn't feel good in your body, you could sweep arms wide or cactus arms or even wide and low. So working with what feels great in your body this morning, regardless of what I or anyone else is doing. Sometimes it can help to close your eyes so you're not influenced by what you see other people doing. So we could try doing some salutations with eyes closed. I'll leave that up to you. Starting in your tall seat, your starting position, legs firm. When your next inhale arrives, let's sweep arms up and overhead. And exhaling, hands back to the thighs. With an inhale, drawing the chest and belly forward, gaze might lift, cow pose. Exhaling to round the spine like a Halloween cat. Inhaling back to our tall seat. Exhale to fold forward, forearms to knees, or fingertips might trace the shins, or hands might come to the floor. With an inhale, sweeping the right arm up into a twist. Exhaling the right arm back down. Left arm, inhale, sweeping up into a twist. Exhaling the left arm down. Inhaling, both arms sweep up and wide, maybe overhead, coming back to a tall seat. Exhaling, hands to your thighs. Pausing for an in-between breath. And again, when you're with your next inhale, let's sweep arms up wherever they're headed, your version. Exhaling, hands to thighs. Inhaling to draw the chest and belly forward, cow pose. Exhaling, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling up to a tall spine. Exhaling to fold forward, maybe forearms to thighs, fingertips to shins, or hands to the floor. Inhaling to sweep the right arm into a twist. Exhaling the right arm down. Inhaling the left arm into a twist. Exhaling left arm down. Inhale, both arms sweep up and wide or overhead. Exhaling, hands back to the thighs. Taking an in-between breath again. One more sun salutation. If you want to make any variations in your legs or change up where your arms are headed, you can make those decisions now, readjusting. And as you're ready, with an inhale, let's sweep arms again. Exhaling, hands to the thighs. Inhaling, chest and belly come forward, cow pose, arching the back. Exhaling to round the back, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling back to a nice tall spine. And exhaling to fold forward, your version. Right arm sweeps up into a twist on an inhale. Exhaling, right arm comes down. Left arm, inhale, sweeps into a twist. Exhale, left arm comes back down. Inhaling, both arms sweep up and wide or overhead. Coming back to our tall seat, exhaling, hands to thighs. Beautiful. Let's move into our different twisting. If the knees are wide, bringing them back to about hip width distance. Let's bring the back of the left hand to the outside of the right knee or thigh, anywhere along that leg. Then we'll start to maybe fold forward any amount, drawing the arm down the leg a little bit. So maybe the forearm comes to the outside of the thigh or knee, maybe the elbow comes. So you can see how far down it feels okay to go. So if the back of the hand or back of the wrist or back of the forearm are on the outside of the knee, that's perfect. We'll sweep the whole right arm wide, coming into a twist. So it's a slightly folded forward twist. If you're further forward with your elbow on the outside of your left knee, you might bend the elbow and find a prayer position, twisted variation. I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So either back of the hand to the outside of the knee and the arm can sweep wide. If you're bent further forward and the elbow is on the outside of the knee, you might find a prayer position. So your version. Arms wide or arms in prayer. The idea is the twist. Breathing here. And then let's release. Sliding back upright, unwinding, coming back to a tall seat. Noticing any sensations from one side of your body to the other. And then let's switch. So I'll slide the other way so that you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay exactly as you are. This time we'll bring the outside of the back of the right hand to the outside of the left knee or thigh. And then sliding the arm down as far as feels okay to fold. So maybe the back of your wrist comes to the outside of your thigh or knee, or the forearm. Maybe you get to the elbow. So wherever you are. If the back of the hand or wrist or forearm are to the outside of the left thigh or knee, let's sweep the left arm wide. Beautiful. If the elbow is to the outside of the left knee, you might bend into the elbow, bending into the left hand, bringing hands into prayer in front of your chest. Options. The arms can be wide, or you can be in a prayer position twisted. Breathing wherever you are, your version. One more breath if it feels okay to stay. Then let's slide back up. Unwinding, coming back to center. Noticing sensations in the twist. Twists tend not to be the most comfortable position, but they're good for us. So just kind of noticing the after effects, especially a forward fold combined with a twist. Everything is very compressed in there. All right, one more version of a twist while we're seated. Let's widen the legs again. Inhaling nice and tall. As you exhale, let's fold forward. So fingertips can trace down the legs as far as it feels okay to go. So maybe you're reaching down to, maybe the hands stay on the forearm, on the thighs or knees. Maybe they reach down to the shins, maybe the ankles, maybe to the floor. So wherever you are, your version of a forward fold. Then letting the left hand be really secure, let's sweep the right arm up into a twist. Breathing here in the twist, reaching right fingers up, opening the chest. One more breath if it feels okay to stay. Then let's sweep the right arm back down on an exhale. Taking a breath in between, still in the forward fold. When you're ready, let's sweep the left arm up into a twist on an inhale. Letting the right hand be secure wherever it is, holding you, helping support you. Broadening the chest. Reaching the left arm, sweeping it up into a twist, breathing here. And as you're ready, allowing the left hand to come back down, coming back to your forward fold. Taking a breath in the forward fold. And then let's make our way back to our tall seat, maybe reaching the arms wide, spreading them up and overhead. And bringing the hands back to the thighs. Maybe the hands or the knees come back towards center, your tall seat. Just pausing for a moment, noticing how the twisting felt in your body. And then we'll come to standing. Let's come through our chair pose. So bringing the heels in towards the chair. Bringing hands either to hips or into prayer position. And we're lifting the bum just off the chair, just enough to hover. Continuing to breathe. Keep breathing. And coming all the way to standing. Releasing the hands. Beautiful. Let's find ourselves standing. Let's use the seat of the chair today. So facing the seat of the chair. And we'll find another variation of a twist since that's our theme today. Let's start with the feet quite wide, standing in front of the chair. I'd say wider than hip width distance and as wide as it feels okay where you're still nice and stable. Let's start with hands on the hips. Let the feet be about parallel. So the toes are both facing in the same direction. They're not pointed out or in, facing forward. Standing here and feeling quite strong, feet pushing into the floor. Let's broaden the chest, nice tall spine, proud stance. Taking a couple of breaths. And when you're ready with an exhale, let's fold forward, reaching for the seat of the chair. Letting the palms come to the seat of the chair. The knees can bend if that feels better. They can be a little bit soft. The legs don't have to be straight. They can be straight if that works for your body this morning. And then let's try our twist from here. With an inhale, we'll sweep the right arm up into a twist. Then with an exhale, let's sweep it right back down to the chair. Switching hands, inhale, left arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhaling to bring left hand back down to the chair. We'll alternate hands, moving with your breath, inhaling to sweep right. Exhaling to bring it back down. Inhaling to sweep left up. Exhaling to bring it back down. Moving through one more time, following your breath. And when you've finished, bringing both hands to the seat of the chair, maybe pushing into the chair, bringing your spine so that it's parallel with the floor. Lots of length in the spine. How would it feel to walk your feet back a little bit, coming into our chair variation of down dog, but using the seat of the chair? Again, knees can be quite bent, reaching the tailbone in one direction and the head in the other. And if this doesn't feel good, we can come up to standing and use the backrest of the chair instead. So you can decide which height feels better. If you feel good with your hands on the seat of the chair, you can stay there for a few more breaths. If it doesn't quite feel right, then let's move to the backrest of the chair, letting the hands rest up a little higher while reaching the tailbone in one direction and the crown of the head in the other. Chair version of our downward dog. Two more breaths in whichever variation you've chosen. Knowing you can come out whenever you like. This is your practice. And then slowly coming up, walking back towards your chair. Making your way to standing. Pausing for a moment. If you're still facing the seat of your chair, turning it around so that you have access to the backrest. We'll throw in some balance here in the last few moments. Bringing your feet as close together as feels okay. We'll start by shifting the weight to the left foot, letting the right foot get light, and we're going to slide it out to the side so that it's a little bit lifted. Our weight is going to be a little bit shifted towards the left side. Maybe the right arm could sweep up. We're kind of finding a tilted star. And then maybe you play with your balance on the chair. Maybe the hand can lift for a moment. Maybe it stays supporting you. Reaching the fingertips apart, reaching the toes apart, stretching the head away, reaching out. 5-pointed star on a tilt. Maybe the hand needs the support. Beautiful, letting it be playful. Then let's release this side. Finding any release that would feel good, a little shimmy, and we'll switch sides. Letting the right hand be supported, shifting weight to the right foot as you're ready. Then we'll start to slide the left foot away, lifting it up. The weight will probably tilt over to the right a little bit. Then maybe sweeping left arm out wide. And then maybe putting a little more reach into all of the limbs, reaching the fingertips apart, reaching the toes away, reaching the head up, reaching the standing leg deeply into the ground. And then do we play with balance? Can we play with letting the right hand lift or stretch? Maybe it needs the support. One foot tends to be just a little easier than the other. I think this is my slightly less balanced foot. Remembering to breathe as we balance. And releasing as you're ready. Bringing everything back, finding any counter movements that just feel good in your body. And before we make our way to seated, if there's any last movement that would just feel good, maybe a big stretch, maybe a little twist, anything that would feel good in your body this morning, finding that, honoring it, giving yourself the chance to move the way you want to move. What would feel good? Maybe shaking would feel good. Anything at all. As you're ready, making your way back to your seat. Finding your stable chair, stable seat. Letting it be spacious, not rigid, but nice, proud seat. So it's a little bit relaxed. Let's bring hands to heart and belly again. It doesn't matter whichever one feels natural for you this morning. And bringing your awareness to your breath. Eyes can be open or closed. And again, giving yourself the time to notice where your breathing has happened, what part, or where it is happening rather. Where do you feel your body move the most? I've gone 1 minute over already. If anybody needs to rush off, I understand. And if it's in your practice, you could bring both hands to Anjali Mudra or prayer position to close practice, or hands could be over your heart, whatever feels good. With gratitude to all of you for making the time to practice with me this morning. Sending gratitude to yourselves for making the time to practice, honoring your bodies. With gratitude to all the students and teachers who've come before us. Peace. Thank you, everyone. I'll pause the recording here.